From a powerful punch to the super delicate touch of a painter's brush, the human hand is just one of the most amazing tools in the entire natural world. It lets us feel, protect ourselves, communicate, and just interact with everything around us. But have you ever really stopped to think about what makes all that possible? Well, we're about to peel back the layers on this incredible piece of biological engineering.
So the story of the hand really starts with its bony framework. And get this, the hand and wrist together, they're made up of a staggering 28 individual bones. That's what creates this super complex and incredibly mobile foundation.
And moving all those 28 bones, that takes some serious power and control. And that comes from over 30 different muscles. Now, some of them are tiny, right inside the hand itself, doing all the fine-tuning. But the real powerhouses, they're actually in your forearm. They act like remote controls, pulling on these long cables, we call them tendons, that run all the way down to your fingers.
So, how does this incredible mix of bones and muscles create something that can be both ridiculously strong and unbelievably precise? Well, that is the big question, and it's exactly what we're here to find out.
To really understand how the hand works, we have to start with its architecture. I mean, this is so much more than just a random bag of bones. It's a truly elegant and engineered system.
Okay, here's a really key idea. The hand doesn't work alone, not at all. It's the final crucial link in what we call a kinetic chain, and that chain starts all the way up at your shoulder. Think about it for a second. The amazing range of motion you have in your shoulder and your elbow has one main goal: to position this incredible tool, your hand, pretty much anywhere it needs to be.
You know, the real secret to the hand's mix of stability and flexibility, it all comes down to its architecture. It uses a system of arches, just like you'd see in a building. Some of these arches give it a stable, strong base, but another one is more mobile, and that's what lets your palm cup and wrap around different shapes. It's this brilliant design that lets you securely hold both a big baseball and a tiny little key.
Now, deep inside the wrist, there's a structure you've probably never heard of, but it is absolutely critical. It's called the triangular fibrocartilage complex, or just TFCC for short. The easiest way to think of it is as a super strong, cushiony ligament that ties the two bones of your forearm, the radius and the ulna, together right at the wrist.
So just how important is this TFCC? Well, when you put weight on your hand, say you're doing a push-up, your radius bone takes about 60% of that force. The other 40%? It gets cleverly passed through the TFCC to the other bone, the ulna. Without this vital shock absorber, all that force would just slam into one bone, making your wrist way more likely to get injured.
Okay, so we've got this incredible structure. Now let's dig into how it all comes together. All of this complex anatomy really serves two main functions. You can think of them as two totally different modes of operation: the power grip and the precision grip.
The power grip is all about brute force, right? It uses those big forearm muscles to clamp an object securely against your palm. And it's the pinky and ring finger side of your hand that acts as the stable anchor. The precision grip, on the other hand, is all about finesse. It relies on those small, delicate muscles inside the hand, with your supermobile thumb and index finger taking the lead.
A perfect example of the power grip: holding a hammer, or maybe a baseball bat. The whole hand just wraps around it, using those ulnar digits for support and tapping into the powerful forearm muscles to get a really stable, forceful hold. Now compare that to holding a pen or picking up a coin. See? This is the precision grip. Here, the object is being manipulated just by the tips of your fingers and thumb, and that allows for incredibly fine motor control, all thanks to those little muscles right there inside your hand.
Of course, with so much complexity comes vulnerability. When this intricate system gets injured, the specific type of damage often leads to some really predictable problems and even deformities.
One of the most common ways this happens is something called a fouche injury. It stands for fall on an outstretched hand. The force from the impact travels right up that kinetic chain we talked about, and it can easily fracture one of the small carpal bones, like the scaphoid, or tear the crucial ligaments that hold the whole wrist together. Another really common issue is carpal tunnel syndrome. Hey, remember that proximal arch we mentioned earlier? Well, it forms a tunnel, and the median nerve runs right through it. If that space gets crowded or inflamed for any reason, the nerve gets squeezed, and that leads to those classic symptoms of numbness and tingling in your thumb and fingers.
And this is where you can really see the hand's delicate balance in action. If one little part of the system fails, it creates a chain reaction. A specific tendon rupture can cause what's called mallet finger, where your fingertip just droops.
A different tear in that same tendon system can lead to a boutonniere deformity, where the middle joint gets stuck. It's just a perfect illustration that every single part has a critical job to do.
You know, looking at what can go wrong only makes you appreciate even more how brilliantly the hand is designed to work right. It really is a marvel of biological engineering.
So, what have we learned? Let's do a quick recap. We've seen that the hand isn't some isolated tool, but the end of a long kinetic chain. Its clever arches give it both stability and flexibility, while that hidden TFCC acts as a vital shock absorber. We've seen how it can switch between raw power and delicate precision. And we've learned that when this incredible system is damaged, the results are actually pretty specific and predictable.
But really, the hand's purpose goes so far beyond simple mechanics. It's also one of our main sensory organs, constantly feeding our brain information about the world. It's a tool for expression, and it's our first line of physical defense. It's a motor, a sensor, and a shield all in one package.
So the next time you pick up a cup, or type an email, or even just hold someone's hand, take a second to appreciate the astonishing complexity that's right at your fingertips. Because this structure is so much more than just a tool. It's one of the primary ways we build, care for, and truly connect with our world.